Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market, where right now, Dale, it's cold, but there's lots of meats, lots of cheeses, way to pack it on for the winter days, man. I'm telling you right now, go to Get Go. They got plenty of sandwiches, plenty of food. Their menu doesn't stop.
And their subs are 7 inches long, not 6.
Forgot about that. That's the thing. You can get your 7-inch sub, get some more in you. But let's talk about the big news, of course. Kevin Colbert, you talked to, well, he talked to everybody really, coming out, telling them what the actual deal was with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, and today it was all about putting the Steelers' message out there. Or I should say yesterday was all about putting the Steelers' message out there that, hey, look, we're not going to give this guy away. If you've paid attention to some of the national stories that have come out in the last couple of weeks about this, you're seeing things like, well, the Steelers aren't going to get a first-round pick. They're probably looking at a mid-round pick for Antonio Brown. And Kevin Colbert's message was, look, we're not going to give him away. We're going to want equal value for Antonio Brown. We don't want to dump him just to dump him. You know, we need to get something back that's going to help the Steelers long term.
Something that's important, I mean, because, of course, a lot of this is also coming off of the meeting that Brown had with Mr. Rooney and Colbert and all that. And the only news that came out of that, the only announcement that came out of people at that party before this was Antonio Brown off of Twitter saying that they've agreed to a trade. And for anyone to think that Antonio Brown is the end-all, be-all, and that's what seemed to happen.
They've agreed to try.
Right,
to trade.
Exactly. There's no guarantee that he's going to. I mean, here's the thing. If no one comes with an actual good pick or a package to make it seem like, okay, that's worth Antonio Brown, 84 is going to be on the Steelers roster next year because there's no way they're cutting him. And there's no way, again, they're giving him away for nothing. Now, again, I think that there's going to be a team that sees value in him, and there's always teams.
Probably several.
Yeah, there's several. I mean, Martavis Bryant went for a third-round pick last year. So you never know what's going to happen, but one thing's for certain, the Steelers aren't going to just bow down and just give him to whoever. All right, Dale, let's talk about the other superstar that everyone's talking about, LeVeon Bell. The Steelers, there were reports that they could be
free at last.
Yeah, free. Oh my
free
God.
At last.
Do not invoke Dr. Martin Luther King for LeVeon Bell,
Is that
please.
who that was?
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. That's just, there's so many bad things.
I knew that.
We're going to, I'm proud of you for knowing Dr. King, Dale. I am so proud of you. Black History and Black History Month. Meanwhile.
It's almost the end of it.
It's almost, yeah, because it's the shortest month of the year. But let's talk about the real, what all this actually means. The Steelers work. We were talking about this last week. They're considering the transition tag. Now there's no transition tag. So what does this mean? Do they get comp picks? Is there anything that the Steelers get from this? What's your read?
Well, all that stuff that we talked about previously about the transition tag, forget all that. It's all gone. It's all gone. All this means is that LeVeon Bell will be an unrestricted free agent on March 13th and can sign anywhere he wants. The Steelers could be a player in that. I doubt it, but they could be. And they will get compensation, possibly, in compensatory picks in 2020. That's all this means.
But Dale, is this a third pick? Is this a second-round pick? What's going to happen?
It can't be a second-round pick.
Right,
the highest it can be is a third-round pick.
Yeah.
And that's going to depend on how much the Steelers spend this offseason in free agency. What this does tell me is that they're going to be active in free agency.
Oh, absolutely. They have to be.
They didn't want to tie up the majority of their available cash in LeVeon Bell because had they done that, had they matched or had they put the transition tag on him, they would have at least had to have had between $9 and $14 million available to do so, and therefore wouldn't have been able to spend that in free agency. So this tells me they're going to be active in free agents when it starts, and we'll see what happens then.
Certainly. Now, Dale, many people, we just...
Free at last! Free at last!
We're back at
Thank God Almighty.
Many people may not know this about me, Dale, but I used to study black history a lot. I went to Cheyney University, the first historically black college. The invoking of the Martin Luther King and of the slavery argument for what LeVeon Bell was going through, just... It jars me.
It's the most ridiculous argument in the history of arguments. Because you were going to be compensated $14.5 million. Had he signed the initial contract with the Steelers, he would have made $30 million in the last 2 years. And you know how much money? I know you know how much money slaves made.
Zero. Yeah. I mean, and oh my gosh, it's just so problematic with this line of thinking. And just, again, in Black History Month, we're invoking Dr. Martin. And there's a lot of people that use Dr. Martin Luther King for the wrong thing.
It just shows a complete lack of knowledge.
Knowledge. I mean, Le'Veon Bell, he's a great player when he played. I've seen him do a lot of really smart things on the football field, but I've seen him just say dumb things, do dumb things. But this is right up there, and I'm sorry we're talking about this in the second segment, but this is just I told Dale, I literally dropped my phone when I saw that. I was like, this is unbelievable. This is what we've come down to. Like you said, the Steelers could be a suitor for Le'Veon Bell in free agency, but I mean, again, it's another thing. Are people are going to be hungry for him in free agency? Maybe. I mean, definitely someone's going to pay him. But the more I see this, the more I wonder.
2 years from now, is he going to be going, I can't believe I signed that contract. I want to be free again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can very much see 2-3 years him looking back and say, maybe I didn't handle that the best way.